If you are someone disgruntled about Vince McMahon waltzing his way back in to WWE, selling the company, and believing that things are gonna get worse before they get better, well, I might have some good news for you. So stay tuned for more right here in Alyx's World.
Login complete. Welcome to Alyx's World.
Hello all, welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host Alyx, just Alyx. We got some news, some, I guess, breaking news, although I can't really say it is, not until it's really confirmed. Although if you've been watching the WWE product as of lately, at least for the past month or so, you could see the changes. You can see that it feels different. You can tell that it's not the same show post-WrestleMania. There's more of a story to it. It feels more story-driven, more character-focused, more development in the storylines and the character directions. Matches have a lot more impact. They're actually getting a lot more focus. We're seeing newer faces come back, like Johnny Gargano. We're seeing Bronson Reed get more TV time. Tommaso Ciampa is getting more focus. It's really not that hard to figure out something's different. So when I tell you this news, yes, take it with a grain of salt, but use common sense. What you see on TV is not what we've been getting post-WrestleMania. I think we've gone back to the same WWE product we got when Vince McMahon got fired, but left last year, literally this time last year. And I'm getting this report from PWInsider, Mr. Mike Johnson. Now, you can do your own research. You can listen to the podcast yourself in case you don't believe me, because I know a lot of people are like, well, how do you know that that's true? Hey, do your own research. If you don't believe me, go for it. The link to the actual audio is down below. You'll have to pay for it. It's not free. Or you can just Google it, tweet, search it, whatever. But here is what Mike Johnson had to say on the recent podcast episode of PWInsider. On this one, I'm not completely sure, but I want to bring it up because it's one reason there has been some backstage atmosphere, morale boosting of late in WWE. There's been a belief among wrestlers and people in the company that Paul Levesque, Triple H, has pretty much been knighted by Endeavor. He's been given full control over creative. And he's going to be the one driving 99.9% of creative going forward, not Vince McMahon. That comes straight from Mike Johnson. Once again, you can go listen to it for yourself. You can do your own research. Now, PWInsider is a highly noteworthy wrestling news source. The people I get my news from, Fightful Select, PWInsider, and WrestleVotes. WrestleVotes is a major one on Twitter. If you don't know who that is, check them out, WrestleVotes. Tell them I sent you. Whatever they say, most likely is true. Now, the wording here is very important. He even said he's not completely sure, but he's gauging what he's heard from wrestlers and people in the company, and also just watching the TV product. So, take this, like I said, with a grain of salt, and here's why. As long as Vince McMahon is alive, number one, but also as long as he's in the company and as long as he's employed, that's how fast things can change. Yeah, I do believe Triple H has full control over creative right now. I mean, just watch the product. Look at who's getting TV time. Look at how the wrestlers are being presented. You're not calling Bronson Reed Big Bronson Reed. You're not calling Dominic Mysterio Dirty Dom anymore. All these stupid ass nicknames. The rosters are staying where they are outside of NXT, getting Raw and SmackDown talent, which is whatever. They're trying to make people watch that show more. Also, they're trying to get other networks to want to purchase it. So expect more of that. But whatever. Other than NXT being like the forbidden door aspect of the entire shows, regardless, there's been a lot of stories that have gotten a lot more time. Matter of fact, Raw and SmackDown both feel more focused on developing characters, giving more time to people like Tommaso Ciampa. Johnny Gargano just came back. He wasn't getting TV time at all post-WrestleMania. Like, he just went away. It's not because he was injured. No, he was working on main event, losing to Omos. He's been there. A certain someone didn't like him, though. That certain someone's not there no more. All of a sudden, oh my God, Gargano's getting TV time. Just saying. That's not a coincidence. All of these Triple H hires, Tegan Nox is getting TV time. Maybe we'll start to see Nikki Cross and others get TV time as well. Everything feels like there's a purpose to it. They're not just throwing them on TV to fill 3 hours. Now you're watching because we have stories to tell. We're starting to see these storylines play out a lot longer now. Everything seems to have a long-term plan, which is very Triple H, not Vince McMahon, for the record. So, do I believe Vince McMahon has no influence on the product right now? Right now, yeah. I can believe it. Not just by just watching the TV product, but think about it this way. If you have been keeping up with news, because I've been reporting it, Vince McMahon is currently being investigated by the feds, the federal government. Yes, once again, because of all of the NDAs, forcing himself on women, maybe some other dealings. The guy is controversial. Let's just call it like it is. The guy is toxic. He's always been toxic. At least lately, he's been very, very toxic. That's why Stephanie's not here no more. His daughter doesn't want to work with him. You know how toxic he is. I don't need to go through that again. And Endeavor is very much aware of how toxic he is. So I wouldn't be surprised if word came out that Ari Emanuel, who now runs the show, it is his show to run. Okay? Ari Emanuel looked at the business numbers and said, well, since Triple H took over, we've seen bigger attendances, merchandise sales have gone up, more stars have been created, more positive responses have come from not just the fans, but also people working in WWE. We're seeing people like Jay Cargill jump ship. We're probably going to get a lot more. Business has been up for WWE. And Ari Emanuel doesn't want to screw that up. And so he probably told Vince McMahon, hey, hands off. For now, until you get your nose clean, and you keep it clean, do not touch that product. They probably advised him to maintain a hands-off approach. Is it permanent? Probably not. I can pretty much tell you it's not. Maybe it is, who knows, but from my perspective, hell no. I think this is just a temporary thing right now while the feds investigate Vince McMahon. Because if he's proven to be a liability, they will cut him. Endeavor is not indebted to Vince. They don't have, and I mean this, they do not have to keep him. He adds nothing to the business. There are people in Endeavor, TKO Group, whatever you want to call it, that can do his job just as good, if not better than him. Yes, Vince McMahon should get all the credit in the world for helping to start the business, for helping to create WWE, for bringing in legends like Hulk Hogan and many others. We'd be here all day. We can give him that credit, but also acknowledge that he is toxic. Everything that he puts his hands on goes to shit. He is not what he used to be. He is a man that is obsessed with power. So, until he's proven that he can be someone that he can work with, he being Ari Emanuel, that Endeavor can work with, nah. He should have a hands-off approach. Yes, come to work, get a paycheck. If the feds come in and say that this guy is dangerous, they will cut him quickly. And guess what? He can't bully his way back into position this time because this idiot gave up most of his stock. A majority of his stock now is being owned by Ari Emanuel. So he's just an employee now. Yes, he's somewhat in a very high position. He has a lot of power, probably more power than he's ever had. But at the end of the day, he has a boss now. It's a different world. It's a different world for Vince. So I'm pretty sure even he knows, even Vince McMahon knows he has to keep his nose clean. Which makes me think this is true. I do believe Triple H is back in full control for now. Now, this could change in the blink of an eye, snap of a finger, the flip of a dime. A flip of a dime, and everything can go right back to what it was a couple of months ago. Keep that in mind. Don't think this is a permanent solution. Not until Vince is gone. When Vince is gone, then you can start celebrating. Until I see the news that Endeavor has endeavored, cheesy, I know, Endeavor has fired Vince McMahon, then we can celebrate. But this is good news, man. It's good to know that Triple H is getting more power. He has been knighted, I like that term, knighted by people above Vince, and has pretty much been made Teflon. That should be celebrated. So, I might talk about this again later on today during my live stream. So look for that or another video clip expanding on this, because Fightful Select is going to do some digging. We're also going to see what else comes from these other websites. I trust Mike Johnson, and I do think, again, you don't need a report to tell you that things are different. If you watch the product, you will know. Okay? Still, as long as Vince McMahon is alive, take everything you read with a grain of salt. But I've been enjoying Raw and SmackDown as of lately. I think the weekly television shows have been an easy watch. I love the format of the pay-per-views, the PLEs. 5 matches. Might need to upgrade that to 6 matches, because I do think, alright, 5 might not be enough. But I love the shorter pay-per-views. That's very NXT TakeOver-esque, which is Triple H. You can see the influence that Triple H has. You don't need someone to tell you that he has more power or he's been knighted. Just watch the product. The question you should be asking is, how long will this last? I hope it's permanent. I don't think it's permanent, but I hope it's permanent. I hope Vince McMahon never gets power again. But as long as he lives, that's not a safe bet. But in the meantime, give me your thoughts. How y'all feel about this? Does this excite you? Or are you in the same camp as me? Sounds good, but we're going to wait and see how this plays out. But thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be giving you more news throughout the week. We might get more news on this later on tonight, during the live stream on Raw, so watch for that. But other than that, thank you for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day. And if you are, and you enjoyed this video, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Also, donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, and Venmo. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are blessed and highly favored. And I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's world. A place that always was and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace.